that they comment on that client base, you're probably still going to be looked at by the customer at the end, right?
Great point.
You're supporting these people.
Yes.
They're like,
especially if you brought the tool, especially
exactly.
if you're the
You
Kaseya,
told us,
right? If you brought it, that's for sure.
Exactly.
So think of it that way, and that's one thing I'd love for you to take away from this in the 9 seconds is, and please keep a list of things you kind of write down. Is like, do I encompass this understanding of me versus where it needs to fall? Like, does my incident response plan have some of these conversations in it? Okay, so in my mind, you're now in the detect phase of incident response, right? We just found out something's happening. To Ethan's point, we really do have some idea. We have, end ransomware notes. We know those are there, so that makes life a little easy. But we're really in this detection phase, right? You're aware the likely culprit's something you own. We're just giving you that here in this game set. You're not able to respond yet to clients because they can bring resources to determine the cause. The situation's not contained, so you can't say what's going on. And I'll maybe stop and pause and ask this question for anybody that wants to talk about it. But, is everybody aware that you might not be able to just rush in and start restoring stuff, right? Is everybody at least nodding their head? I see Derek, yes, and Garrett had to deal with something real quickly. Ethan, you're in. Everybody aware of that point, right? Is you can't just rush in necessarily and restore. Can anybody speak to why?
Yeah, all the processes, the third parties we're going to end up waiting on. We luckily learned that by a small incident.
That helps a lot.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. You nailed it. That's exactly it. You don't know what third parties you're dependent upon at this point yet. You're not able to move forward. In fact, you need insurance, counsel, forensics, negotiation teams are all assigned. I called my insurer, which was Beasley at the time, right? Beasley then said, hey, and I can uniquely tell this because this is my story. And Beasley said, yeah, we're your counsel, or we have your counsel. That's going to be Lewis Brisbane, who now doesn't, I think, participate in this type of work anymore. But Lewis Brisbane is your counsel. And then we're going to have Spear Tips. Spear Tips are going to be your DFIR team, your digital forensics and incident response team. We're going to have Coveware be your negotiation team. Like Coveware is going to be the one to do the ransomware negotiations where necessary. And all of that is going to be considered panel, right? And so you're waiting on this pre-arranged set of insurance assets, whether it's the client's set through their insurer, whether it's your set through your insurer, or God willing, if they don't have insurance and you don't either, some preset of things that you have set aside. And that's the question I'll leave you with here in your head. Do you already have this set of resources set aside that if I don't have insurance and they don't have insurance, do I have a place to send them? Do I have a Solace or somebody that's doing incident response I can send them to that has their own panel, their own insurance, their own legal? You're